This is a video review of the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Evasion mode Optimus Prime figure, and I really don't know why I didn't get around to reviewing this guy earlier, because in recent years, he is definitely one of my favorite figures from Hasbro. Now, the cab mode here is very nice. It's very G1 Optimus Prime inspired, flat-nosed cab and all, and it works really well. It's a bit on the small side, but I actually really like that, because he actually turns into a pretty decent-sized Voyager figure, but in his vehicle mode, he just looks like he's a puny little deluxe figure, and that sounds like a bad thing, but it's really not, because I like Transformers that have just really dramatic transformations like this guy has. It really appeals to my, I guess my sense of play. I like it. It's interesting. Now, it's not to say that this figure is perfect in this mode. He has several flaws. The first one is that he only has one smokestack, when they really could have given him two. I get the idea behind it. It's that in the movie he was a junker, and so his other one fell off, but this doesn't look like a junker. It really should have had two smokestacks, and that really would have helped his robot mode quite a bit too. Kinda. That leads into my second problem with this figure, which is his front windshields here. But to talk about that, I'm going to talk about this paint that I put down here. I put this paint in right here to fill in the what was clear in his robot mode. And the problem with the robot mode is that you could see through this window all the way through him, and it made him look really hollow and not very substantial. With the paint, he does look big and substantial. On this window, it wasn't that big of a deal, because you did have this kind of getting in the way of the clear plastic so that you couldn't see all the way through him. So that's one reason why I really don't like the one smokestack. It's not that bad now that I painted it, but leading into the second part of this problem is that there's no real way for you to get into the behind the windshields on the front to paint them. And I don't really like the way the windshields look here, because there's just robot mode stuff jammed right up close to the window, so it doesn't really look like a window. It looks kind of fakey, but otherwise, the only other problem I have with this guy is that because his legs are not clipped in anywhere or anything, they're just still posable back here, is that sometimes it's hard to get all of his wheels flat on the ground. You can just press him down, it'll kind of work basically, and he'll roll fine, but sometimes not all the wheels will be on the ground, and I find that a bit annoying. It's not a huge deal, but it is a pet peeve for me. You do have his weapon right here with the missile over there, and you can like put it on the bottom of this foot and it looks kind of weird, or you can put it up here and it looks kind of weird, and ultimately I don't care about the weapon that much, at least not in this mode. It looks kind of nice in his robot mode. Now, on to the transformation. This guy is a great transformation. Start off this transformation, we're going to pull this down, and we're going to pull these out. Then we're going to come to the front, and we're going to get our fingers under this section right here and pull it up. And then we're going to rotate it up a little bit like this, and this will help start freeing up the arms. So just leave it flying up there for now. Next thing we're going to do is pull these out, and these will unlock some tabs on the side of this red piece, and then we're going to get our fingers in here. We're going to pull these side pieces out so that we can pull this thing out. We're going to take this piece right here, fold it up. These are going to be a smokestack, so just leave that hanging for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the arms up here. We're going to pull them up like this, and then we're going to bring them as straight forward as we can, like this. And then we're going to start rotating these up like this, and just leave them about horizontal like this for now. We're just trying to get them out of the way. Then we're going to take this piece here. Well, actually, first we want to rotate the legs down and get them out of the way too. Going to take this piece here, I'm going to bring it down, and then this piece right here, his abdomen piece, is going to sit right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here, and it's going to fold over this slot, this little tab right here, and it'll just sit here. And then we're going to fold these up over, and they'll tab in right there. And then what we're going to do to make this all solid is we're going to fold these in. And the way that this works to make this all solid is it's kind of like one of those Chinese lock boxes where everything's solid, you can't move anything except for one tiny piece, and then you have to move another piece, another piece, another piece, another piece, all in the correct order before it's all solid. Basically what's happening is that right now, these things cannot rotate down because these pieces here are pressing against the abdomen piece. So if you fold these down, then this can rotate down, which allows this to fold back, which allows the head piece here to move. And it's just really neat how that all works out. It's very well engineered, very precise, and it's just it's mind-blowing how well it works, because it really is genius the way it works. And then the last thing we want to do with the upper body is fold these down. Then down to the lower legs, these are quite a bit more simple, but they do have their own little charm. It's kind of hard to do, but you need to get your finger in here to push up here. There's a little section right here that tabs into the leg right there, and then you bring the entire foot section around like this. And then you do the same to the other side. This side is always really hard for me. Part of it's just because there's no easy way to get your finger under anything, so your finger will slip a lot. And there we go. Like that. And here we have Optimus Prime in his really cool robot mode. And it really is a nice robot mode, because we're going from a very classic style tractor, the G1 flat nose, to what is basically the Movie 1, Revenge of the Fallen, and Dark of the Moon robot mode. And it's just really impressive, because the only thing that I would do, and it's not, I don't know if it would have really been possible to do with this design, but would just be make his shoulders a little bit more beefy, and that's all he really needs to be perfect design-wise, at least. He could use a bit more color in his arms and stuff, since just blue, red, blue is not super appealing. It's not detailed. He's just like some red or white up here on the shoulder, just to break it up a little bit would have been nice. But yeah, this is his robot mode, and it's really nice. I really like it. For posability, the headkin is on a ball joint, looks side to side, although it does have this little lip right here that will get caught on his chin, which is a bit unfortunate, but you can rotate his head forward on this stalk right here, which does give you a bit more range and can make him look way down, and you can look quite a bit up. So it's a bit limited because of this little tab right here. It'd be easy enough to shave it off, but otherwise, it is still some nice head articulation. The arm's going to rotate around 360. They go in and out. You get a bicep swivel above the elbow. You can bend at the elbow. And speaking of his elbows, his arms here seem kind of weird with how they're just, when they're straight, they have this weird angle in them. But it's not really that big of a problem, because when they're straight like this, they don't look good anyway. Just having their arms straight down. They look like he's really stressing his elbow joint there. Like if he were a real person doing this, it would look weird anyway. But just setting it like this, or even like this, and just having that be the down position, that looks just fine, and it works well. And going back to why I can't paint behind this piece right here, there's a pin right there, and those kinds of pins are just really, really hard to get out. And actually, looking close at it, I think my pin there actually has a crack in the head. That's weird. Usually those pins don't have any kind of damage, just shot in. Anyway, he also has some wrist articulation, but I don't typically use it because it's just too hard to get my finger in under this plate to move it. Then he has a waist swivel down here. It'll go around 360 degrees if you move these out of the way. And then his legs go forward, back, in, and out. And these can move out of the way too. Rotate above the knee. On a very tight joint, the knees will bend a little over 90 degrees. And then the feet are kind of interesting because you get this joint up here, which can kind of help you with some poses to get the feet just flat how you want. But then the feet themselves can rotate forward and back with a very nice range, and they can rotate side to side. Not quite as much as I would like, but enough to get some decent poses out of him. And anyway, yeah, this is basically the figure, and it's really, really nice. The only other thing really to show you is his gun. He's got this little missile that fires. I don't really care. The gun can fit in here, and it's not a terrible gun. I do need to tighten up this arm a little bit because it's not quite strong enough to hold up the arm too well, but the weapon too well. But yeah, this is Optimus Prime. He has a little bit more than standard articulation, and it all works really well. And it's from a figure that it comes from that little itty bitty truck mode that just looked pretty close to perfect with a couple of small flaws, to this robot mode that's just a bunch of pieces flying everywhere, very strong and movie aesthetic, but without transformation that's too difficult to pull off once you know what you're doing, but still really fun and clever. And it's just, this figure is technical excellence in its design. He's got a few snafus with a couple of the paint or color choices, or with the smokestacks, but otherwise he really is as close to a perfect figure as I've ever seen Hasbro make, and it's just a nice figure, and I really recommend everyone own this guy. I mean, if you're not into the movie aesthetic, doesn't matter. This guy's really cool. And like I was talking about earlier, I have painted the windows here, so he's black. So they're black, they're dark. And as you can see, he really does have a broad chest for his size. When you can see through him, and his chest isn't quite as bold because some light is diffusing through his chest some more, he doesn't look as broad as he really is, but he really is a broad, nicely chested figure there. His tiny shoulders take away from that a little bit, but not too much. So if you do get this guy, I do recommend painting the back and just use some acrylic paint and seal it with some future floors and you're good. So anyway, this has been a video review of the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime figure. I highly recommend it. I review Power Rangers, Digimon, Transformers, Tobots, Biclots, all stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.